Each day at Wesley Meadows is a new opportunity to serve older adults and reimagine retirement living. It is the heart of their mission that inspires their team to provide the kind of fun atmosphere and care residents would want for themselves. Experience the warm spirit and faith-based difference of Wesley Meadows. Call 662-429-2070 and schedule your visit today. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Real Hernando podcast. We are presented to you by Wesley Meadows Retirement Community and SRP Studios. This podcast was created to highlight the Hernando, Mississippi community by sharing the stories of its business owners, community leaders, and football coaches. We hope these stories help strengthen the fabric of the city that we love so near and dear. You can follow us at therealhernando.com for all of our channels and social platforms. So please go check that out. And I forgot to mention, I am your host, Derek. And today I am speaking with Steve McCann. Did I say that right?
You did.
All right.
You did.
I didn't want to say McCain.
Yeah, most people do.
You probably get that right.
You get it right.
So Steve McCann is the head football coach for the Hernando Tigers.
There you go.
I'm glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Thanks for joining me.
You invited me on.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we both know Robert Carter.
Yep.
And he's the one last year. I was like, hey, we got a new coach last summer that you stepped up from assistant to it. And we were trying to try to coordinate it last summer so your episode would go out before the new season started, but didn't quite make it there.
We had enough going on.
I'm sure you did. So yeah, we're going to talk about that too, as far as jumping up to head coach and what you've done for the last several years with Hernando. But first, let's get to know Steve a little bit. So where are you originally from?
I guess I'm originally from Brandon, Mississippi.
Okay.
And went to school there and grew up there. And
that's down by Jackson, right?
It's down by Jackson. It's right off I-20, right in the middle of the state. And even went back there and coached a little bit. So that's where I'm from originally.
What brought you to Hernando?
Just coaching profession. Will Wolf was a long-time friend of mine and family friend. And when he got the job, it was a good time to move.
Here in Hernando?
In Hernando, when he got the head job, I guess 9 years ago. And that's what brought me to Hernando.
Okay, because you were the defensive coordinator?
For the last, 8-9 years before Will left, I was the defense coordinator and then moved up.
You moved on up.
That's right.
Big time now. The lights are a little brighter on you, aren't they?
Yeah, there's more to do. I know that.
I definitely want to ask you what it's like to handle parents sometimes, but
it's I guess it's like a lot of other professions and all. It's just relationships and dealing with people. And older coach me, handles kids and handles people like, once you have kids and you've been in it a little bit, you look at it a little different than you did the first few years. So it's been good, though. I mean,
that's great. There's a lot of pressure. I went to the first road game last year. I think it was in Lewisburg.
Okay.
And so the visitors' side, there was less people. Obviously not everyone from Hernando is going to travel over. So it was a little thinner, still a great crowd. But I could hear more people around me. Man, I'll tell you what, there was some parents in there that are, let's just say they're very engaged.
Well, that's what it's there for. We are in the South.
Maybe some four-letter words even.
It's football. I hope not too much of that. But we're in the South, and football is it's blood, so it can get you to either extreme of the emotions.
And for a brief period, I experienced that when my daughter was 8 or 9. She's 14 now. And then her half-brother, we got him into soccer.
Okay.
And I didn't know I had that gene in me to yell and get heated and just excited and nervous.
That's right.
And my then stepson was like, you need to stop, please. You're embarrassing me. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And then I just chilled in my chair from that point forward.
It's been said, you're dealing with blood or money, you can get people's emotions at a high for sure.
For sure. I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the only parent on there
I bet wasn't
yelling and
that
screaming
night.
about 9-year-olds.
That's right.
You know?
The most nervous I've ever been was coach pitch to to little ones. They're trying to win a ball game. Coach got to throw it in the right spot, or it's not going to work. That's one of the most nervous I've ever been with them.
So do you have kids?
I have a 23-year-old Andrew, and then my daughter's 19 and about to be 20. He's about to be 23, and she's about to be 19
All
this
grown
month.
up. Did they play sports growing up?
They did. Andrew played baseball and football here at Hernando, and he grew up. Both of them grew up around it and grew up in the locker room and field house, and it was a good growing up. I love my kids being around me, and we did it. And she's so he went off to state, and now doing some nursing, getting ready for nursing school, and she played soccer at Northwest, was a goalie, and she just went on to continue school at Mississippi State. So we empty, getting close to being empty nesters, I guess.
I know, right? I got a few years ahead of me still. I'm not looking forward to it. But, with you moving here 8-9 years ago, your kids were young in that formidable age. And
They were.
It's nice that they were able to be in Hernando.
Well, it's a good place to be. It's, Brandon's gotten to be pretty big, but when I was growing up, there's a lot of similarities. And so, we had family up here already, and the move was easy, and everything was at peace, and you knew it was the right place to be. And the kids, from day one, they took to it. It was great. It was a good move for everybody.
That's why I'm here.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. Once I finally got here, it's just like, okay, I don't want it to grow anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah. Now I'm in.
You're not going to stop it, though.
No, it's all good. We got a Whataburger coming. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
So I see you went to Belhaven University. Mm-hmm. Did you play football too growing up?
They started football after I grew up playing football and baseball. And, back then we just had all-stars. We didn't have all the travel the world teams to play. So played baseball in the summer and football in the fall, and played football in the winter too, Mm-hmm. But that's what I did growing up, and played a little college baseball at Belhaven's what got me.
Oh, so you played baseball in college?
Mm-hmm. Sure
what position?
First base.
Nice.
I couldn't throw hard enough to
You
catch.
right-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay.
That was it.
Couldn't throw hard enough.
I could not.
Sometimes that's also where they put the lefties.
I know. I was right-handed, so I got put over there. I wasn't a very mobile athlete at the time, so they put me on first.
Well, look, when the catcher's knees start going, where do they go?
That's where they go. That's right.
They're not going out into center field.
That's right.
So I have a brief little league, story, and I played first too. I liked it. It was fun. I liked how you have to throw the ball in between innings. Did you guys do that?
You just got to stay warm.
They throw the grounder to third. He throws it back. Shortstop second. Yeah.
That's right.
It's just funny how that tradition's lasted forever.
It'll stay forever, probably.
So, because in order to be a coach, you have to be a teacher as well, right? So you teach history, is that correct?
Taught just about every history there is over the years, but currently teaching Mississippi Studies and government, and have over the last several years before been a lot of world histories taught.
So. What grades are you teaching?
Mississippi Studies is, I guess it's a mix of 9 through 12 in there. Mississippi Studies,
yeah.
Government's mostly seniors, and when I had world history, I was mostly 10th graders.
You may have had my daughter, Tyler, she's a freshman. I think she took it last 9 weeks or last semester.
Okay.
I don't know. I try to keep track.
That's
promise.
right.
I'm a good dad, I promise.
I bet you are.
So what was it like, those years of being, was it considered assistant coach or just defensive coordinator, or what was your title?
Well, both. It'd be both. I was pretty fortunate being around most jobs I've had the freedom to go to do it myself and work. And here has been kind of helped out a good bit in a lot of the duties that the head coach had. And, I like being at a place where you can get involved in the community and be a part of it. And it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's 24/7. It's all the time, but I guess that's the only way I'd have it and enjoy what I do too.
Yeah, I mean, think about the commitment professional coaches make.
Yeah,
in college too.
Yeah, college is no
eat,
days
sleep,
off.
and breathe it, don't they? Mm-hmm. You know, Nick Saban probably hasn't had a life in 40 years.
He gets after it. There's a reason why he's ultra successful.
So, what exactly does it mean to be a defensive coordinator for high school football?
Well, in our case, my experience, you know, you have the game plan. You have to do a lot of studying and knowing what the other team's doing and their tendencies. And you know, so there's game planning, there's practice preparation on top of personal relationships with the guys, their teachers, their families. You know, just because. You know, all coaches, not just a coordinator or a head coach. You're helping them grow up. You're there for them. You know, so
you're giving life skills too.
Oh yeah,
right?
That's the number one thing you're doing. I mean, every coach can draw a play up, tell them where to go. You know, so it's more about relationships and trying to develop young men.
That's awesome. So. There's a lot of young men on a team, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. We got about 85 right now.
It's 85. Is there a limit, or is it pretty
not
much as many kids as want?
Well, we're pretty much full right now, you know, and we'll have some guys that have come to me already, and we got them after school because they're not in football. They'll lift weights and do their after school practices and see if it's what they still want to do, and then we'll go from there. But not really. I mean, it has nothing to do with how good you are or whatever. I mean, football's made more than 11 players or 22 players. It's there's a lot to it. So, you know, there's a lot of discipline. There's a lot of hard work. They're willing to do all that. And do right in the hallways and in the classrooms.
Keep those grades up.
Oh yes, the more the merrier. You know, if we can find a locker and put them in it, you know, it's a good experience for them.
Because obviously 85 players, but 11 on the field at a time. There's probably a lot of kids that don't get as much playing time, right?
Yeah, we're I guess you say we have a little benefit of having special teams and offense and defense, and a lot of the younger guys they play on Mondays. We have a JV schedule, and then our ninth graders also play on Mondays. So there's a benefit of a lot of the younger guys. They get to play on Mondays, and
are those the ones that on Friday night are helping? Like some of them are assisting the team with. I don't want to call them water boys.
No, there's not water boys. They help out. We do our best to try to have our managers and try to take care of them, and because they're part of the program too. We love on them, and they handle those things and are. Those guys don't necessarily get to play on Friday. Their job is Monday through Thursday, and they're working. They're trying to give their best look to our guys, whether it's defense or offense.
Because you guys scrimmage each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, practice. Everybody practices. Everybody's involved in practice. And, that's the point of it. In a way, they got to get involved in it. So they're trying to prepare the guy that is out there on the field. You know.
So I know the games get filmed. I know there's cameras in our stadium. Do all schools do that? And then are you allowed to act like? Does schools communicate like, here's our game film, okay, and you switch off so that way you can study?
Yeah, most people have gone to a huddle. HUDL is the letters of it. Most high schools in America probably use it, and it's a program. It's an internet. Online based. It's filmed and goes straight to online. So it's important to have it. We'll even do the end zone. We'll have a camera set up in the end zone to look at it from in front or behind, and then we'll have a press box to look at it over. And the other team will have most teams have the same setup, and they'll be there.
I mean, every team's going to want to look at the other team. So they'll cooperate and film their games.
Everybody pretty much works together. Some stadiums have a Wi-Fi set up, some don't, things of that nature. But there's some teams have enough room on their home press box for everybody to video. Sometimes you got to go to the visitors press box, but but no, everybody's accommodating the best they can be. It's a good thing.
So I've been to pretty much every home game, this last season, and I noticed you have a tent, 50-yard line-ish, and when the offense rolls in and your offensive coach isn't very happy, they all go to this tent. It looks like they're watching a monitor or something.
Yeah, that's something new over the last several years that's happened. We can because of the internet and the speed of it already being up, and we have a connection that what's filmed. There's a 3 to 4 second delay. We're able to come to the sideline when the offense is done or defense is done, pull up the plays before. For the most part, sometimes our technology is a little bit more advanced than we can handle it.
But that's still fascinating.
Oh, it is good. There's a lot of things that you can see, and it's gotten to where everybody has it. Everybody will play. I have a tent too, and it's the same. Okay. Everybody has it, but it's helpful because there's so many times, what you see is not what really happened, but the eye and the sky don't lie,
professional quarterbacks,
they're looking at the pictures coming.
As soon as they get on the sideline, they have their little tablet.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's our high school version of that, I guess you can say, and it's helpful.
I was going to say, it made a difference?
Yeah, most definitely.
Just you kind of make some corrections on the fly.
Yeah, I think it's probably helped the quality of football in Mississippi, which is one of the highest quality already in the country, but it's helped the quality of football, high school football in Mississippi, I'm sure.
That's great.
Gustafson Properties. Gustafson Properties has been building beautiful custom homes in DeSoto County and surrounding areas for over 20 years. Are you ready to build your new custom home? Call us today at 662-449-6271.
Who are some of the, I would say, the seniors that are probably going to be playing more, like your starters? I guess that's the word I'm trying to get to, is starters.
Right.
And who's quarterbacking? What can we anticipate next year?
Well, we had a new quarterback last year, and
what was his name?
His name's Topher Jones. He played just about all the snaps, and it takes a little bit to, the year before, he's only played quarterback really since 9th grade. And
what grade is he in?
He's a junior right now.
So he became the starting quarterback as a junior? As
a sophomore.
Oh, sophomore.
Junior.
Okay, yeah.
So this year, he'll play quarterback again, and it takes a lot of reps to master that, if you ever master that position. But he's coming on and improved throughout the year. Really improved well, we thought. The last half, and it takes that. And, we got a running back, Brody Martin coming back, running for a bunch of yards. Right. Also plays safety.
I like watching Brody.
He plays tough. Now, he's a defensive safety for us. Hallis Lawson is a linebacker that he's liable to play both ways. A lot of our guys will play both ways, that's just the quality of several of them, and you always want to have your best on the field. And give yourself the best chance to win. But those are three. Tyler Starnes is a receiver for us. He broke his collarbone early last year, and took a little bit to get going again. But he is very dependable and played a lot of defense for us as a 10th grader. And but he'll probably be our leading receiver, senior receiver this year. And we've got to find some line. We got a couple of linemen coming back.
And do you find receivers can play double duty and work secondary?
Yeah,
are they good corners? Just by their nature.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that can run and jump. They don't catch as well, and they're definitely DBs. But yeah, I mean, and a lot of times your good ones can, them guys that your best athletes can go, both ways.
Yeah, because
that's a fact.
We talked about a mutual friend of ours. His son is Andrew Wood.
Yeah,
he graduated, so he's. It's over for the family too. It's sad.
Yeah,
he's the youngest.
It's very sad for Hernando football too.
Yeah,
they've all come through. I met the oldest one a couple weeks ago, but Austin and Andrew I've coached, and they were fun to coach.
Yeah, so Anthony and Amanda Wood, as we were talking about, they own DeSoto Family Counseling Center too. So if you look at the scoreboard,
they've been helpful. They've been great supporters,
big supporters. But I can imagine as a parent watching 3 boys through all the youth league and all the football that they get to watch, and then that last high school game must be rough.
It's one of them days in your life, you know. It happens.
I also know the Wilkies, and I'm sure they went through the same thing. I know some of them have moved on to, you know, other colleges, so they still get to see him play. But you know, I can see how it's an emotional situation.
It is when you put your heart and soul into something for a long time. There's an adjustment.
Yeah, and Andrew played both sides, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Yeah, he was a running back and a linebacker.
A safety, outside linebacker, and a running back. Yeah. He played all over the place.
Yeah, he was a hustler out there, wasn't he?
He got out there. He's fun to watch.
So you want to talk about your staff?
Yeah, we've got a couple new guys. Marcus Jameson is our defense coordinator. We've got Brooks Lotz, a receivers coach for us. Mike David is our offensive coordinator. And Will Freeman is our O-line coach. Kenzaki Jones is a defensive back coach for us. And Coach Bentley kind of helps out with our special teams and our younger guys. So
and they're all teachers, right?
That's right. Oh, yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. You have to teach. Yeah. You have to teach. There may be some other places in the country you don't have to, but here you do.
And you have someone sitting up in the booth, right? Mm-hmm. Because I noticed you guys all have the headsets too. Is that the coordinator sitting up there? Or?
Yeah, we have a younger coach that Levi Cox is usually up there. Left him off the list, but he's new to us this year. He helps out with our junior high and with Steve Pasterchick, and they come over, and usually one of them are up top, upstairs, as I say.
How close do they have to sit next to Robert Carter?
I think they're in another room next to him. But
and who's the other announcer? I don't know his name. Don't mean to put you on the spot there.
Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson. Okay.
I think they've been doing it for a long time.
They're great. Mm-hmm. You know, now that I've been to another school, I like our guys.
Yeah, they're Hernando fellas now. Yeah. They love it. They don't have to get paid for anything. They do it because they want to make it good, you know.
So last season was the first one that I really engaged with because I had just moved here. Now, I was in Memphis. I could have easily come to games.
That's right.
I knew people down here, but you know how it is. It's just different. Now that I live here and went to a full season, it's just so much fun. It really is.
We try to have fun. You know, whether it's Friday nights, practice, weight room. You know, you got to enjoy what you do, and you got to enjoy the coaches that you're coaching with, the staff, the players. So fun is entertainment, and is hopefully we put out a good product and an entertaining product on Fridays. But you know, as coaches and working together with players, we try to have a good time and build relationships and try to help these young men into becoming men. You know?
So outside of school football season, but while still in school, it's still like practice and lifting. What are they doing?
Lifting weights. We'll do agilities, and we're working on our speed and our agilities and weightlifting. And any of them that play sports, we got several that just got back from basketball, and we've got several that are in baseball. And then the rest of them we got in the weight room. We get them for about an hour and a half, and
so it's like a class.
Yeah. It's a strength and conditioning class, I guess you can call it. But yeah, we're doing all of it, and when we get closer to spring practice, we may do a little bit more outside work. But right now, the concentration is just getting bigger, getting faster, and getting stronger.
Yeah, getting stronger. So what happens during the summer?
Same thing. And summer is a little mixture of getting bigger, faster, and stronger, and then we're doing our fundamentals, trying to get better with our footwork, trying to get better with hand placement.
You start getting some hitting going on in the summer?
We don't really do any hitting. Now, we'll hit the dummies and bags, but we can't put pads on until, basically the fourth day of practice. But we're still hitting sleds, dummies. And to an extent, we can work off each other. But, as far as teams and getting up in there and getting a bunch of guys together, we kind of, it's more individual. Now, we'll go on air and try to run plays and execute.
Is there some kind of regulation with high school ball where you can't just hit each other all year?
Yeah, no, we can't put when we have our first practice. They call it.
It's in August, probably.
Yeah,
right?
it's in August, and you get 3 days of helmets only, and then you get a couple days you can put your shoulder pads on, and it's to get guys ready for the season and not just throw everything on them in August, the heat days, In your second week, you can actually go to pads, but I'm finding majority, everybody that's getting after it's doing. It's running.
Oh, they probably can't wait to start hitting each other.
If you don't do anything all summer and then get out in 98-degree heat, and you get 2 weeks really before you go scrimmage against somebody. I couldn't make it.
Yeah, those pads and that helmet. Oof.
No, that's tough on the kids. So we try to get them ready all summer long.
What are some of the things that you do during the summer as far as programs?
Well, we'll get them our summer schedules. We'll get them 8 in the morning. We're at about 8 to 11. 8 to 11 is what by the time they get out of there it's 11 o'clock, and that's work. We're going to lift weights. We're going to run. We're going to go outside, throw the ball around, and do our stuff. We'll also do 7-on-7 throughout the summer.
Is this Monday through Friday?
We'll work out Monday through Thursdays, and usually Wednesday's usually the day. It may be a different. Each summer is a different schedule, but we'll go one day, and we've been going to Lafayette. I think we'll probably go to South Panola one morning, throw the ball with them, and have somebody else that you get to throw the ball, play 7-on-7 with, and which is really good for your skilled guys.
Yeah. Plus, it must be different when you play in a visitor's field.
Totally
right?
different when we'll get out there on their big turf field and go against their guys, and it's totally different. You're competing against somebody else than somebody it's in your locker room. So it's fun. We'll get after it.
Do high school coaches or just high schools in general have any position in play when it comes to some of the higher players that are getting interest from colleges? Do they coordinate with you, or
for the most part, the colleges will come in and talk to the coaches. They're going.
So they kind of interview you on what's the kids about.
Yeah, they want to know. They want to know. The old deal. They're always about the grades and the attitude. They can watch film. They can see he's fast. They can see this, that. So they want to know some other things. And then on the younger guys, they'll ask, and you tell them. You try to tell them, push your guys best you can on them, and try to get our guys that want to play at the next level, whether it's from junior college, Division III, all the way up to you don't have to worry about helping a kid that's Mississippi State or Alabama's after. Everybody in the country is after them. It's the ones that's maybe a little short, maybe not their weight or their speed or something. The combines are not enough for the big ones. Those are the ones you really try to help and show more film and put them in front of some of the other colleges and all that they're looking at a bunch of people too. It's not just your guys.
And it's still a scholarship opportunity for
a lot of
the
cases,
student, right?
Yeah, there's some that are not athletic scholarships, and they're leadership scholarships, or other scholarship money they find for them to come play ball there. But in a lot of cases, it may not be full rides at some of the smaller schools it is at the big schools. But, I think it's generally, we coach, if somebody really wants to play football, there's a place for you to play football.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap it up, how do you feel about next season? Feeling pretty good about it?
We're looking forward to it. We got spring coming up May 12th at our place, and we'll get a little first seeing a lot of kids. We got a lot of young ones coming, and we're going to include in this spring. So look forward to them seeing how they react.
So those are the
perform.
8th graders coming into 9th?
Yeah, there'll be some of them. Some of them will get to go with their varsity. We're going to have one. We're having one start next week for the 8th grade to be 9th grade that you're talking about. We'll have a couple of weeks with them, and then there'll be some that'll get to do our, not all of them, but there'll be some that'll go with their older guys.
Yeah,
and so there's a lot of, the guys that I called out earlier. We know about them, but you got a lot of other places and people that back them up or that want to prove that they deserve more of a chance too than what they've had. So, that's what's fun about the Springs, giving guys looks that they hadn't got in the past,
and they're excited about
positions. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's spring's a fun time. There's a lot of it's busy. There's so much stuff going on in the spring, especially at Hernando. Holy cow! The administrators, I know they're running themselves ragged, covering all the deals, and there's so much for our kids going on in the spring. But yeah, it's fun. We're not keeping score. We're not putting it in the paper, so you're not sweating about, what about winning? You get to see you guys perform and put them in different positions, and that part's fun.
Letting kids be kids.
Yeah, to have a good time. If you're not having a good time, why do it? So you got to have a good time.
Well, no pressure.
None.
But we're expecting a championship.
Well, that's what I'm here for. We're here to bring one.
Well, look,
for sure.
It's been a pleasure meeting you and talking to you. I met you at a ribbon cutting very briefly, and that's when I was like, hey, I want you on the show. But then before that, this is it. Thank you for coming up here in the studio and talking with me like this. And excited to watch the team next year. I'm a fan.
Well, good.
It's just good fun. And, I'll see you out there doing your thing on the sideline.
Well, we'll let them kids do their thing, and we'll all enjoy them.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Real Hernando podcast. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Steve McCann. I know I did. Looking forward to seeing him and his team perform next season. But now I would love to ask you to support in various ways. So first off, if you could go to the website, therealhernando.com, and in there is the hub. So you can find all our socials, all our platforms, watch and listen to the podcast directly from the website. Also, you can subscribe. It's just capturing your email, and what that will do is every new episode will be emailed to you directly. While you're in there, grab a link. Grab a link to an episode, or if you can find us on Apple, share it. And if you know of someone that might be interested in hearing Steve McCann's story, go ahead and email it to them or post it on a social post on your platforms. Any of that would be super helpful. We have a YouTube channel. Again, you can find that icon on the website, but it's also at The Real Hernando. We post all of our videos and clips on there as well. The very least, if you could subscribe to that page or channel rather, that would go a long way for us too. And please follow our socials. We are on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. All are at The Real Hernando. And then share posts to your stories, to your feeds. Have at it. All of that really does help our reach, which ultimately, gives more exposure and reach to the businesses and organizations and leaders and people like Steve McCann. It really just helps the whole community as a whole. And you'd be surprised at simply just sharing a post, what that can really do. And again, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. We're on all the major digital platforms. And that's it. So thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.